I want to keep maturing, says Eala ahead of Abu Dhabi Open. Dubai, Alexandra Eala may be just 20 years old, but the Filipino tennis sensation is already carving out her place among the elite on the women's tour. Fresh off a breakthrough season that saw her become the first Filipina to crack the WTA top 50, Eala insists her journey is only beginning. I want to keep maturing. I want to hopefully go a little higher in the rankings, she said ahead of her opening match at the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open at the International Tennis Center in Zayed Sports City, where she faces Turkish wildcard Zeynep Sönmez. But the higher you get, the steeper the mountain is. When Eala steps onto the court this evening, it will mark a full-circle moment. Abu Dhabi is where her WTA 500 journey began, and now, 2 years on, she returns with a chance to write the next chapter in one of tennis' most compelling rise stories. 24 months ago, Eala arrived in Abu Dhabi ranked outside the world's top 180, competing in the UAE for the first time in her maiden WTA 500 appearance. But now she can boast of a sensational season that included her first WTA title, a historic US Open run, and victories over 3 Grand Slam champions in a single week. I still remember my match here. I played Magdalena Freck, and it was such a great learning experience, Eala recalled of her 2024 debut. It was my first time in the UAE, so there were a lot of new experiences. I've grown a lot since then, so let's see how this year pans out. That growth has been remarkable. Beginning 2025 ranked number 147, Eala battled through qualifying rounds and WTA 125 events before announcing herself on the sport's biggest stages with a stunning run to the Miami Open semifinals in March. Competing as a wildcard, she defeated former French Open champion Jelena Ostapenko, 2025 Australian Open winner Madison Keys, and world number 2 Iga Swiatek in consecutive matches, becoming the first Filipino to beat a top 10 player, the first to reach a WTA 1000 semifinal, and the first wildcard in WTA history to defeat 3 Grand Slam champions at a single tournament. There are quite prominent differences in all aspects of my game, Eala said when asked about her evolution since her first appearance in Abu Dhabi. But more than that, it's the maturity, how I approach things on court. Physically, I'm stronger and more developed. It's well-rounded growth. Mental toughness. That maturity was evident throughout a season defined by resilience under pressure. From rallying back to defeat 14th seed Clara Tauson at the US Open, becoming the first Filipino to win a Grand Slam singles match in the Open era, to overturning a 1-6 first-set deficit to claim her maiden WTA 125 title in Guadalajara, Eala repeatedly showcased her mental toughness. Now, as she prepares to face Sönmez in the opening round, Eala has another chance to make history. No Filipino player has ever won a WTA 500 title, and the hard courts of Zayed Sports City suit a player whose biggest breakthroughs, including her Miami semifinal run and US Open victory, have come on the surface. It would mean the world, not just as a Filipino, but as me, Eala said of the possibility. It would mean so much for my personal growth and my personal journey. Eala's return has already generated buzz among the UAE's sizable Filipino community, many of whom turned out at Zayed Sports City on Sunday as she carried out media duties. Now one of the Philippines' most recognizable sporting figures, with more than 869,000 Instagram followers, Eala is well aware of the pressure that comes with representing a nation on the global stage. In the quiet hours before competition, when the noise of the crowd is still only a promise, Eala's thoughts are not about trophies or headlines. They are about growth. I want to keep maturing, she says, a simple sentence that carries the weight of years spent learning how to turn talent into resilience and ambition into patience. Maturity, for Eala, has never meant slowing down. It has meant understanding when to accelerate and when to pause, when to attack a point and when to construct it, shot by shot, with intention. Ahead of the Abu Dhabi Open, those lessons feel especially close. The tournament represents another chapter in a career that has unfolded under the gaze of expectation, both from a nation proud of its rising star and from a sport that rarely grants time to learn quietly. Eala's journey has always been about more than forehands and footwork. From a young age, she learned that tennis asks questions far beyond the baseline. How do you respond when momentum slips away? How do you carry yourself after a tough loss, or a win that came easier than expected? Each match becomes a mirror, reflecting not just technique but temperament. In recent seasons, the answers have grown clearer. There is a steadiness now in how she approaches pressure, Less urgency to prove, more confidence to build. Maturity shows up in the margins, in the way she resets after a double fault, in how she accepts long rallies without forcing a finish, in her willingness to trust preparation rather than chase perfection. These are the invisible gains fans may not always see, but opponents often feel. The Abu Dhabi Open, set against the desert's vast calm, offers a fitting backdrop for this phase of her evolution. The conditions demand adaptability, changing winds, different rhythms, unfamiliar opponents. For Eala, these variables are not obstacles but opportunities. Each adjustment is another step toward becoming a more complete player, one who can thrive not just when circumstances are ideal, but when they are unpredictable. What stands out most is how Eala frames her ambition. She does not speak of arriving, only of becoming. Maturity, in her view, is not a finish line. It is a process that deepens with every challenge. There is humility in that perspective, an understanding that progress in tennis, and in life, is rarely linear. Some days, growth looks like a breakthrough win. Other days, it looks like accepting a loss and extracting its lessons without self-reproach. This mindset is especially powerful for a young athlete navigating global competition. The modern game is fast, loud, and relentlessly comparative. Rankings update weekly, opinions shift instantly, and social media amplifies both praise and criticism. To keep maturing in this environment requires an anchor, values that hold steady when external noise grows overwhelming. For Eala, that anchor appears to be her commitment to learning, from coaches, from competitors, and from her own experiences on court. There's also a broader resonance to her words. "I want to keep maturing" is a sentiment that extends beyond sport. It speaks to anyone striving to improve without losing themselves to the pressure of timelines and expectations. It suggests that growth is not about erasing mistakes, but about integrating them, allowing setbacks to sharpen perspective rather than dull confidence. As she steps into the Abu Dhabi Open, racket in hand, Eala carries more than just tactical plans. She carries the quiet assurance that she belongs on this stage, and the curiosity to see what the next test will teach her. Wins will matter, of course. So will rankings and results. But beneath it all is a deeper objective, to emerge from each tournament a little wiser, a little steadier, a little more herself.